I'm going to show you a powerful way to change your songwriting and improve your music in 2025. Your songs are boring, they all sound the same. Your tunes are all ripped off someone else, and you're never going to get any good. And songwriting is really hard work. If you're telling yourself these things, then you need the ideas in this video to help you start to write the songs that deep down you know you're capable of. In a short time, you're going to have the knowledge to do just that. To break out of your creative rut, to find your creativity, to make songwriting fun and exciting, and to set you on the path for songwriting success this year. Okay, so you want to change your songwriting for the better and start writing great song ideas. Because songwriting has so many different skills to learn, it's difficult to know which ones to focus on to progress the fastest. And because we only have so much time to spend writing songs, I think there's one main area we should focus on, especially if you've been writing for less than 3 years. Back in my early days of songwriting, I'd always try to finish every song I started. There's even that famous George Harrison interview where he said he asked John Lennon about songwriting, and Lennon said he always tries to finish the songs that he writes at the time he's writing them. And George Harrison applied that principle and obviously wrote some amazing songs using that technique. And today it's become a trend to really try and finish all of your songs. And I think that's good because it trains us in completing all of the steps required and doing the work in producing the finished song. But this approach has major downsides. It's very time consuming to finish all of the lyrics off, to find the perfect chords, to flesh them all out, to look at the song as a whole and think about the structure, the tempo, how you're going to connect the verse and chorus chords, introductions and endings. It just goes on and on. And if the idea isn't that great in the first place, then you're spending all this time finishing off an average idea. And let's face it, if the song idea was really good in the first place, you wouldn't need to convince yourself to finish it. So, because of this must-finish trend, songwriters are pushing through these mediocre ideas. They think they're getting ahead when really they're falling behind those people who are focusing their energies on what really matters. So I say don't finish a song because you think it's good enough to finish. If you're not totally buzzing about the idea, then it's either not developed enough to be worth finishing, or the idea just isn't that strong in the first place. If you're not writing song ideas that excite you, and you think there's something missing, then time and energy spent dedicated to finishing those song ideas is time and energy better spent elsewhere in the creativity phase. What I'm saying is that sometimes you need to stop finishing your songs and instead start to develop your creative muscle. Developing this skill is not only highly effective, but it takes the hard work out of songwriting, making it more easy and pleasurable. Because it takes the same amount of time to write an amazing idea as a bad one. If you focus your skill on learning how to write strong ideas in the first place, then you can move on and develop the skill of finishing your songs off. Using this approach means that you can more consistently and easily end up writing songs that you're proud of. For every one song I can complete, I can write maybe 5 or 6 strong ideas, sometimes more. And in a single session I might write 3 or 4 ideas because I just allow myself to flow from one idea into the other. So instead of building the ideas out completely, I stay in that creative space and work inside that flow state for as long as I can, saving all these ideas for later on. The best part about this is because you're skipping out the work part of songwriting, it reinforces the idea that it's a fun and exciting experience rather than a grind. And this excited place is where you're going to get your best song ideas from. The way to do it is to focus on the creativity and play aspect of songwriting. Don't come into the writing session with a load of preconceptions about what it is you're going to write. Just start to freestyle ideas and see which ones get you juiced up and excited. But don't think about finishing the song completely. Keep creating, switch ideas, radically change the one you've got. Anything to kickstart your creative mind and find something that energizes you. Then put your creative energy into refining those juicy bits. Tweak them. Like, how can this verse melody be improved? Kind of find a better chord to replace this existing one in the chorus. Just use all of your inspiration into this idea until it runs dry, and then save it for later and move on to the next one. Get into the habit of focusing on the core essence of the idea, the central musical heart of the verse or chorus idea. Let your emotions guide you, move in the direction that they take you in, and just keep working until you're confident that your idea is as good as you can make it. This time, this crucial time in the creative zone, is where the great song ideas come from. And the longer you spend there, the more powerful your ideas are going to become. This will reinforce your creative muscle as you get better at accessing that part of yourself where the truly original ideas come from. This process is a self-reinforcing cycle that will see you dramatically improve the more you practice. But sometimes it isn't easy to get into that creative state and just find a good idea. You end up stuck back at square one. So if you want a trick to find easy melodies, then I've outlined a very simple one that was actually used by the Beatles in a video in one of these corners here that can have you finding great strong song ideas from a very, very simple starting point. So if you check that out, I think that's going to help you, and get to work. I'll see you later.